So in this new example with the Assistants API, we're going to look at the tool Knowledge Retrieval. So basically, we're going to connect the assistants to the OpenAI language models, but also allow the assistants to call Knowledge Retrieval in order to allow the assistants to search for custom information. So let's say that you want to create a customer support chatbot in order to help users navigate the pages of your website, or assist your customers with general inquiries, but also be capable of, create an assistant which is capable of responding specific questions about your products and services. So what we're going to do is to train your assistants with custom information. We're going to allow your assistants to search for custom information about your products and services in order to create a tailored user experience for your customers. And this tool, Knowledge Retrieval, allows the assistants to retrieve data outside of the language model at a very high level. So everything is done in the background. It's going to be very easy to train our assistants with custom knowledge and custom data. So let's say that we want to create a customer support chatbot that can assist customers with general inquiries, response to user queries about your products and services, and that can also assist customers when they encounter issues with your products. For example, a washing machine. One customer calls to say that they have an error code, so the chatbot is able to assist specifically with this request by retrieving custom knowledge and by retrieving specific information about error codes related to your products. And so they can assist the customer and help them have their products fixed in a timely fashion. So we're going to create an AI-powered assistant trained with custom training data. And for that, we're going to use this generic, completely fake user manual for the ABC washing machine. So that was generated by using one simple prompt with ChatGPT. And that's going to provide information about safety information, the product overview, installation guide and operating instructions. Also specific information about error codes and how to troubleshoot the problem. And I think that you also have, at point number 9, information about how to answer common questions about how to wash or set your machine based on the fabric. So we're going to train our chatbot with this custom data, training data, in order to allow this chatbot to assist any customer who has inquiries, general inquiries, or questions about how to have their machine repaired. And if you've never used the Assistants API before, I invite you to watch my Quick Start course about how to get started quick and easy with the Assistants API. And there is also one demonstration with Code Interpreter in order to build a custom AI assistant that can process files with the tool Code Interpreter. And inside this new example, you're going to find here one file that includes the user manuals, and see how we can create an assistant which is trained on specific data with this user manual. So how it works is that you're going to enable retrieval as a tool. So that's going to accept an array. So you're going to specify the type of tool that you want to call whenever it's triggered by the user query. And we're going to build a similar example, which is to create a customer support chatbot for a washing machine manufacturer. Let's see how it works. So first we need to upload the file that we need to pass at the assistant level. So whenever you create your assistants, you'd have uploaded first a file, and we're going to pass the information of the file ID. So with this parameter, that accepts an array of file identifiers. So when the file is attached, so you're going to run the thread as usual, and we're going to be able to then run the thread, execute the assistant with the custom knowledge, the custom information. And so this assistant is going to be able to then retrieve the information from the training data that you have provided. And if you've never used the Assistants API before, you can always check out my first video with a basic quick start example of how to use the Assistants API, and another example with the tool Code Interpreter in order to process files within your assistants. Rephrase, in order to process files with your assistants within your application. And here you're going to have a basic setup, a basic typical integration of the Assistants API. With step 1, we're going to create an assistant. Then we create the thread. Then we're going to add messages to the thread, run the assistants, check the status of the run. Basically, we're going to check until the run is completed in order to print the messages. All right, and in this example, specifically what we do is to check if there's any annotations. So I'm going to remove that because we're not going to be doing that, because Here for this example, so you see that we have enabled code interpreter. I'm going to replace with actually retrieval. I'm going to change this, the setting for this, and I'm going to remove that as well because we're not going to be using any code interpreter tool for this example. Instead, we're going to allow the AI assistants to use to retrieve custom information. And let's go back to the documentation and see how we can set up. And I'm going to put that right here, so right on top here. And I'm going to define this. I'm going to first say create assistant. I'm going to say upload file and create assistant. Let's put that inside upload file and create assistant. That's going to be two actions in one, create assistant. So that's going to be two actions in one, and then we're going to return the assistant. All right, client like this. And here it's going to accept one file information, and I'm going to replace this with file. Okay, so that's going to create a file, and that's going to be sent along with, so whenever you create the assistant, it's going to be added at the assistant level. So here, instead of just having create assistants, we're going to have upload file and create assistants, and we're going to pass the user manual. So let's go check out the name. So that's going to be user manual, and I think it's a PDF. All right. All right, and after that, I think it's good. We've got the file ID. And so now we're going to make a demonstration for this one, and we're gonna run python 3 main.py, and looks like it cannot retrieve this file user manual, and you'll see that this one is actually available within this directory, which is files. So we must specify here this path, and I'm gonna add files and use the format syntax like this, and it's gonna be able to then retrieve this information. And I'm going to change a few things. So say that I am Alex, customer support, and here we go. So let's try that. Python 3 main.py. Okay, we've got another error. I've run into this issue before. That's why in previous examples, I was using this create assistance, and I must specify, actually, I think I missed it, but no, that's fine. So we've got the same type retrieval. And in previous example, I was using this language model. I'll show you. So I have defined a few variables here. So this one doesn't seem to be retrieved for some reason. So instead, I've been using this one. So we're going to try with this one. And for the previous example, we were using code interpreter, but now we are using retrieval. So I think that everything is set up properly. Yeah, that's fine. So let's try that again. Let's try our customer support. Alex. Let's try again. So I'm going to start the conversation by saying that I'm having an issue with my machine. Okay, so can you please describe the issue that you are experiencing with your machine, and if possible, provide any relevant details about the problem. So I'm going to say that I have an error code, which is E1. So here it was able to provide with specific information, instructions based on the user inputs. And here this is telling that the E1 error code indicates that the water supply needs to be checked. And here are the steps to resolve it. If you have any further questions on the issue, if the issue persists, feel free to reach out to our customer support team at the contact information provided in the user manual. So I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to say, how do I do to get to have repair service? I'm going to ask another questions, random, like Like, I have no idea. To request a repair service for your washing machine, please contact our customer support by sending to the email support@washingmachines.com. So that's it. So that was a very basic example of how to get started with knowledge retrieval in order to create an assistance API driven by AI, but that can also look for data outside of the language model with your own training data, which is a good example of how you can leverage language model and how to integrate the assistance API for different business use cases.